Okay, so welcome all of you. Now, after 5 minutes, I will lock my meeting so no one can join it. So before 5 minutes, within these 5 minutes, you can join my meeting. And those who are not joining now, so come first and join this meeting. Because after 5 minutes, I will lock my meeting so no one can join after 5 minutes. Okay, is this slide visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Last day I have discussed about the instruction set, and today I will discuss about the programming methods in 8086 microprocessor. How can you make a program using those instructions? And so there are some examples of basic program like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, series addition, block shifting, ascending order, string matching, and factorial. So these are the kinds of program which I need to discuss. Okay, so let's start. The first of all, basic addition. This is the addition program. Write an ALP. All of you must. Do you have pen and paper with you? Do you have pen and paper? So you must write down this logic or what I need to discuss. You must write down certain things. Okay, and otherwise you can remember. Now this is the addition program. Now to add two 16-bit numbers, you need the two numbers inside two registers. Okay, so any addition can be performed, like you can add two 8-bit numbers or two 16-bit numbers. Here I have shown you the 16-bit number addition. Now two numbers are assumed. These are 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8. Okay, so I need to add these two numbers. So that's why these two numbers are loaded inside two 16-bit register, because these numbers are 16-bit in size. And I have initialized one register as a 00. Why? Because according to the carry concept, if there is any carry after this addition, the carry should be stored in some register, because carry is the number 17 bit, which is the extra bit, and you need to store it somewhere. And that's why it is taken as dx, where your carry should be stored. Now take two numbers in two registers, like move ax comma 1 2 3 4 and move bx comma 5 6 7 8. Then I need to add them. So that's why add ax comma bx has been used. After addition, we need to check whether there is any carry or not. So if there is no carry, no problem. The result will be stored inside ax, because the first one is your destination part and the second one is your source part. So addition, add ax comma bx means addition between the content of bx with the content of ax, and the result will be stored inside ax. So if there is no carry, so result will be stored inside ax. But if there is any carry, that's why I have taken this L1 as your label. So JNC L1, if there is no carry, it just go to this level and stop the program, so that the result will be stored inside X register. And if there is any carry, it performs certain operation. And what is it? If there is any carry, the register which was initialized as 00, that must be incremented by 1 and stop the program. So DX stores the 1, that is the carry, and AX, where the result will be stored. So now my inputs are AX has been taken as a 1 2 3 4, and bx is 5 6 7 8, and dx is 0 0 0 0. So that after addition, the result is stored inside, the sum portion will be stored inside ax, and the carry will be stored inside 0 0 0 0. Okay, so if there is no carry, it will be same 0 0 0 0. If there is any carry, there will be 0 0 0 1. So as per my number, it has taken very small number, so that's why there will be no carry, and his carry is 0 0 0 0 in dx register. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this function of int?
int03, it is a interrupt. It's a software interrupt, like we have used in 8085, that is RST3. What was it? It's a software interrupt. RST3 in 8085, it was software interrupt. And RST means the restart. Several restart interrupts are available, RST0 to RST7. And among these RST8 interrupts, we have used RST3 to stop my program or break the execution of the program. In the same way, in 8086, we can use the INT03 as your as my software interrupt, which is used as your breakpoint interrupt, which breaks the sequence of my program. Okay, so it based on the manufacturer of the kit which we have used in our lab. These programs are based on our laboratory. Okay, so that's why we can use INT03 somewhere else in and for another company, he or she can use the halt or any other instruction to stop the execution. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
INT03 interrupt 03. INT means interrupt. Okay, INT03, it's a software interrupt in 8086 microprocessor. Okay, and there are I will discuss the software interrupts or the interrupts part on next day. So software interrupts are available in various forms, like INT00. It started from INT00 to INTFF. So total 256 types of software interrupts are available. Okay, so among these 256 types of interrupts, I have used the INT03 to stop my execution. Clear? So go to the next section. To the next program. This one. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the addition right now, previous example was based on direct or immediate addressing mode. Like we have used the two numbers directly into the instruction. Now assume the numbers are stored in two memory location, two different memory locations. Okay. Now according to the concept of memory location stored, the one memory location, it is used to store 8-bit. Okay, now to store any 16-bit number, you need two consecutive memory locations. So that's why here I have used that 2000, assume 2000 memory location. In this memory location there is 8000. Now what does it mean? This 8000 is stored in this way. 00 will be stored in 2000 memory location, and 80 will be stored in 2001 memory location. Okay, now to store the next 16-bit data byte, which is 8001. So these are my data bytes which I need to add, and these are my memory locations where these data bytes are stored. Okay, so to store the 8000 data byte, which is 16-bit in size, you need two memory locations, and those are 2000 and 2001. In the same way, to store the next 16-bit data byte, you need next two consecutive memory locations. Here it is assumed that 2002 and 2003. Okay, now what I need to do, I just call this data byte from the memory location, and in this way we need to add these two data bytes and stored in some another memory location. So the sum will be stored in 3000 memory location, and the carry will be stored in 3002 memory location. So why the carry will be stored in 3002? Because if 3000 is used to store your sum part, so sum part will be 16-bit in size. Now each memory location can store 8-bit at a time. So you need two consecutive memory locations to store the sum of this addition. Okay, so that's why 3000 and 3001, these two memory locations are reserved for storing this sum portion, and the next two memory locations are reserved for carry portion. Okay, they're used to store the carry part. So how can you make this logic? First of all, move dx comma 0000, move dx comma 0000. Now why dx is used? Because this dx can be used to store the carry portion. Okay, so you need to store one register to save this carry. That's why dx is initialized with 0000. Okay, now to operate these memory locations as your input memory locations, so that means these are source memory locations. Okay, and here output will be saved onto these two 3000 and 3002 memory locations. That's why these are destination memory location. Okay, so inputs are source memory location and outputs are destination locations. So source locations can be initialized with the source index register. So that's why I have used the SI register, source index register, with the value of certain memory address, that is 2000. So 2000 will be stored into SI register. Now SI points only the address. SI register is not used to store any data byte. SI and DI, these are source index and destination index respectively, to store the addresses, offset addresses. Okay, to store the offset addresses where some data byte is stored. So these are used to store the memory address. So that's why move SI is initialized with 2000. Now 2000 is stored inside SI. Now this using this instruction, move AX comma within bracket, this SI represents, then SI stores the 2000 within that memory location. What is your data byte? That will be stored inside AX register. Now if this instruction is written, move AX comma within third bracket SI, it represents that two consecutive memory locations, 16-bit data will be stored inside 16-bit register. That's why I have used the AX register, which is 16-bit in size. So here it's a 16-bit microprocessor. So 16-bit data can be accessed at one cycle. Okay, so SI is pointed by 2000. Now 2000 there will be lower 8-bit data, and in 2001 there is another higher 8-bit data. The combinations of 2000 and 2001, it creates 116-bit of data, which will be fetched by the processor at one cycle, and it stores inside AX register. Clear? Now one data byte is stored, that is 8000 is stored inside AX register. Now to get the second data byte, which is stored in 2002 memory location. So how can you go to the 2002 memory location? Because at that time, when this 2000 is given, it points 2000 memory location. If I add with this offset 0002, that means if I add 2 with 2000, then we can get 2002, which will be the next data address. So that's why it is given as add SI comma 0002. Now what is inside that SI? That is 2000, and if 2000 is to be added with 0002, that will be stored inside SI also. Okay, the result will be stored inside SI, and that is 2002, which is the next data address. Now next data address must be loaded inside BX in this way, using move BX comma within third bracket SI. Now two data bytes are stored inside two registers, move AX comma within third bracket SI, and move BX comma within third bracket SI. So 8000 and 8001, these two data bytes are stored in two registers, AX and BX. Now we need to add them using add instruction, which is add AX comma BX. Now after addition, you need to check whether any carry is generated or not. That's why JNC L1 is given. So if there is no carry, you just to store this result into the specified memory location. Now where I need to store it? Into the destination part. So that's why DI can be used to initialize the destination memory location. Just like this is the source memory location 2000, that's why it is source index, used by source index, and 3000, that is the destination memory location, that's why it is initialized by the DI, destination index register. So move DI comma 3000, that means 3000 is loaded inside DI register. Now what is stored inside AX? That result or sum part. So that sum part must be stored inside this memory location, which is pointed by DI register. That means the sum will be stored into 3000 and 3001 two consecutive memory location, because the sum is your 16-bit. So 16-bit will be loaded inside two consecutive memory locations. So that's why 3000 and 3001, these two memory locations are reserved to store the result from AX. Then if there is any carry, what happened? If there is any carry, the same logic, which register that was initialized as 00, if there is any carry, that will be incremented by 1, so that this register contains 0001. So you need to store this content from DX to the specified memory location. Now which memory location you have chosen? That is 3002, but processor is now pointing 3000. How can you go to the 3002? If you add 0002 again with the DI, that's why add DI comma 0002, then move within bracket DI comma DX. That means the DX content will be saved onto the 3002 memory location, and then stop the program. So by result will be stored inside 3000 and 3002, these two memory locations, sum and carry respectively. Clear? So is it clear, everyone?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, instead of adding 0002 with the source index and destination index, we can move the value as well, means the address value, means 2002 or 3002.
Yes, you can perform any way. There are several logics you can implement here. Okay, you can write it here directly, the 2002 memory address, in spite of adding some 0002. You can write it as like move BX comma within third bracket 2002 also.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
We can add displacement.
Yes.
Displacement.
Displacement is not there because displacement is considered as your offset.
Acha.
Displacement is one type of offset. So offset can be given in separate ways. You can put some offset, then extra value will be called as displacement, and then go to the specified value. But I have not used any displacement here. I have used the simple addressing modes like source index, the index addressing mode, the immediate addressing mode, the indirect register addressing modes I have used in this book. Okay. So I have
Okay.
not used any
Okay.
displacement register relative addressing mode or relative based index addressing mode. I have not used it.
Okay. Okay.
So have you any doubt about this program? You understand? Okay. So go to the next section. Okay, write down one assignment. I will give you the assignment last moment. Okay, so I will discuss first this lecture. Okay, the next program will be the subtraction. How can you perform the subtraction? This is very easy. It's very easy. How can you perform? Just like in case of addition for immediate addressing using immediate addressing modes instructions, take two values in two different registers, then use the sub instruction. And if you want to store any borrow, which is coming after calculating this subtraction, then that must be stored inside some register. That's why the register can be initialized as 00, which is in this case dx is 00. I have taken one number that is the largest one in ax and the smallest one in bx. After subtraction, if there is no carry, it's just stop the program. If there is any carry, so here carry means the borrow, the same thing, that will be stored into dx register. Okay, so these are my inputs and these are my outputs. So output will be stored inside ax and the borrow will be saved onto dx register. That is the subtraction. It's very easy. So next is the multiplication program. I have taken two numbers, two 16-bit numbers into registers. Okay, so one number it is you have to store inside ax. Okay, one number, the first number have to stored into ax register, second number from any register, whether it is vx, cx or any register, vx or cx, because you can't use the dx also. Like 4000 it is used inside ax, 2000 is stored inside bx. We need to multiply 4000 into 2000, and after multiplication the result will be stored into ax and dx. Okay, so if you multiply two 16-bit number, there may be result will be of 32-bit. Okay, so this 32-bit number, this 32-bit number can be saved in this way. Lower 16-bit will be stored inside ax register and upper 16-bit will be stored inside dx register. Okay, so 16 and 16 total 32. So it may be 32, maybe less than 32, but you have to consider it in this way, so that if any 32 result has been generated by the multiplication, then your lower 16-bit result must be stored inside automatically. This 16-bit, lower 16-bit will be stored inside ax register and upper 16-bit will be loaded inside dx register. Okay, that is a by default. It is happened when multiplication instruction has been used in your program. So two numbers are taken into two different registers. One must be in accumulator, which is ax register, another from another register. I've used bx register here. Then multiplied by bx with ax, and the result will be stored inside ax and dx register. Okay, and then for a division program, just like here, you have to assume 32-bit, any 32-bit number is there, and you need to divide this 32-bit number using a 16-bit number. So 32-bit number divided by 16-bit number. Now how can you load this 32-bit? You first load the 32-bit number and then load the 16-bit number. Okay, 32-bit number and then 16-bit number. So how can you load this? How can you load this 32 number into two register? Always you have to store the lower 16-bit number. Suppose my 32-bit number is given as 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's a 32-bit number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here 4, 5, 6, 7 is your lower 16-bit number. That should be stored always in AX register, and upper 16-bit number, which is 2, 3, 4, 5 in this case, that will be stored into DX register. Okay, so always the upper 16-bit will be loaded inside DX register, lower 16-bit will be loaded inside AX register, so that this number can be divided by 116-bit number which is loaded in any register. Like in this case, I have used the CX. You can use move. You can use VX also. You can use VX. So two registers are available, VX and CX. Either you can use CX or you can use VX. I have used the CX. So this will be this 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7 divided by 4, 1, 1, 1. That will be the division, and it can be used by this instruction, which is div CX. That means DXAX divided by CX. And what will be the result? The result, the question value will be stored always inside AX register, and the remainder value will be stored inside DX register. Okay, so this number, if it is divided by 4111, this number, so your question value will be 8AC5, which will be stored inside AX register. Always the question value will be stored inside AX register, and your remainder value will be stored inside DX register. Okay, now if there is no assume another condition where you can divide a 16-bit number divided by another 16-bit number. So how can you load this? In that case, the lower 16-bit will be your actual value. Suppose I need to make a division between these two numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7 divided by 4, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so both are two 16-bit numbers. So this 16-bit number will be divided by this 16-bit number. So my first the 4, 5, 6, 7, that will be stored inside AX register, but I need to use DX register also. Here there is no data byte, so it is filled up with 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, you should use the DX register initialized with 0, 0, 0, 0. Then move CX, the second number, and using div CX, you can get the result inside AX, which is your 8A, which will be your question value. Now inside AX, you maybe, so there will be it maybe it's not a 16-bit number, it maybe it's an 8-bit number, so your 8-bit number may be stored inside AL register, and automatically AH will be filled up by the previous one, and the DX is reminder value. If there is any reminder, that will be saved onto DX. Okay, so same thing, AX got the question value and DX got the reminder value. Is it clear? Division program, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes. Any queries? Any doubt?
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
You don't write the value of CX.
Sorry, I can't hear your question. It's disturbing. Can't clearly hear you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Register AX and DX are interrelated.
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly. Can you Can you write your
Sir,
question over chat?
sir, sir, in input part you don't write the CX value only AX and DX
Yes,
and AX and
input value should be written CX. I have missed that. Okay, so sorry for that. So CX value will be 4111.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Anything else?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in second option, we have to choose only DX register. After AX, we have to choose only DX register pair.
Sorry. I
Like after AX register, we can use CX register in place of DX register.
no to load the number first number you have to use always AX and DX. Okay. You can't change it anything here in this position. You can change in this position where you can use either BX or CX. Okay. If it is BX, move BX comma 4111, then you have to write it as div BX. If it is CX, move CX comma, then you have to write it as CX. But here you can't change. You can't alter these registers. Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, can you explain the multiplication program once?
Multiplication. Yes, this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me where there is a confusion. There are two numbers, 4000 and 2000. I have loaded the two numbers in two different registers. Okay.
Okay.
So one thing you have to always remember: the first number must be loaded inside AX register. You can't change it for multiplication. Yes, another number you can select it from another register, like you can select it from CX, BX, or DX. Anything. Huh? So here I have assumed that BX register is used to load the second number. That's why it is written as mul BX. Clear? Now, when this mul BX is executed by the processor, the result that must be 16-bit in size, because you have multiplied these two 16-bit numbers. So always,
yes,
if
sir.
two 16-bit numbers are multiplied, the result must be more than 16-bit, maybe more than 16-bit. So your lower 16-bit will always by default automatically stored inside AX register, and upper 16-bit will be stored inside DX register automatically.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Everyone listen. For second session, after timeout of this meeting, you have to click on the same link for this meeting to join the next meeting. Okay. After 5 minutes, when this meeting will be end, you have to use the same link to join to the next session. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So next, this one is your series addition. Now, series addition means there are several numbers are present inside the memory locations where you need to add one by one them, and you need to store the result inside some register or some memory location, or you have to store the carry also in some memory location. Okay. So here this is the series I have taken as a input. These are my source memory locations, which are 3000, 3002, 4, 6. So every time there are a gap of certain memory location. Why? Because these are all 16-bit numbers. Now these 16-bit numbers, to store any 16-bit number, you need two consecutive memory locations. So if it is started from 3000 memory location, so 8000 is it is reserved to this next two memory locations, 3000 and 3001. So these two memory locations are occupied by the 16-bit number, which is 8000 here in this case. So next 16-bit number will be stored on next memory location, which is 3002. So 3002 and 3 will be reserved for 8001 data byte, and in this way up to 3006 and 7. Okay, so from 3000 to 3007, memory locations are reserved to store these 16-bit numbers. So there are 4 numbers. Now, one thing is here. This program can be implemented in various ways, because there are powerful instruction sets are available in 8086 microprocessor. Like you have different type of instructions available. You have loop instructions, you have string instructions, and you have the normal increment and decrement or the addition instructions are there. Flag manipulation instructions are there. So there are more flexibility in doing this program in 8086 microprocessor. Now here, what is the difference? You have performed the series addition in 8085 microprocessor also. In that case, you have to call one data from such memory location and increment the memory location to get the next data and add them. And after addition, if there is any carry is there, you have to save that carry, or otherwise you go to the next memory location by incrementing the memory location by 1. Okay, and one thing was there. So always you have to increment the memory location, and you have to decrement the counter value. Suppose if there were 5 data bytes, so how many times this this operation will be going on? It based on the number of count value. So for 5 numbers, the addition will be performed for 4 times. So your count value must be 4. So every time after each addition, your count value must be decremented by 1. And until this will be decremented, until this is 0. So always you have to check whether my counter value is 0 or not. That's why individual instructions you need to use to decrement the counter value by 1 using DCR. Okay, but here you can perform also the same thing, but you have a loop instruction where in loop instruction you can so in loop instruction automatically CX, that the counter value must be decremented by 1 after each operation, each addition. The counter value automatically decremented by 1 until it reaches 0 condition. So you don't need to specify, or you don't need to write such instruction to decrement counter by 1 using DEC. You can perform it logically correct, but the better programming is to using less number of instructions. Okay, so you can perform it in any way. I have used here in this case the loop instruction. That's why move dx comma 0000. Now why I have used this instruction? Because of the carry. I need to save my carry. Move cx comma 0003. So what is that? That is my counter value. Why 0003? Because 4 numbers are there. You have to add 3 times. Okay, you have to add 3 times. That's my counter value must be 3. So this counter value will be decremented by 1 after each addition until it reaches 0. And when this counter value reaches 0, my operation has been completed, and it gives the result into to registers or to memory location. I have used here the register. I have stored my result in registers. So move SI comma 3000, that is the initialization location, source location, which is started from 3000. So that's why I have used the source index register, which is initialized with 3000 memory location. And from SI it goes to AX. So first data byte, which is 8000 in this case, that will be stored inside AX using move AX comma SI. Then my second number is in this memory location, and how can I go to this? How can I get this second number? If I go to the next memory location by incrementing at certain level, and that increment operation can be performed using the same structure, add SI comma 0002. My SI is initialized with 3000. If I add 2 with this, I can get 3002, which is the next data address. So from next data address, it is given into VX register, and then perform the addition between AX and VX. And after addition, the result will be automatically stored inside AX. Now after addition, if there is no carry,